Welcome back to the last episode in this series, NPD Defined, where we've been going through the 9 diagnostic traits as per the DSM-5 of narcissistic personality disorder. If you haven't had a chance to see them, we've got 8 more videos in front of this walking through each trait individually. Today we're going to wrap up talking through number 9. Narcissists are arrogant. Maybe you've encountered someone who believes that they're superior to everyone else and is constantly displaying these behaviors of like looking down on you, these like haughty behaviors of like, oh, I'm so much better than you. Narcissists are filled with a lot of arrogance. You see this prevalent in so many different types of relationships and so many subtypes of narcissism as well. If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel to provide awareness of narcissistic abuse. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the NARC app, and your guide in the 45-day Clarity Challenge that you can access at claritychallenge.net. The whole goal of what we do here is to help bring awareness, but then help people grow, develop, and heal, and become the person that they're actually called to be. Oftentimes you've been put down so often by a narcissist, you don't know even who you are. If you're struggling with that, go to rawmotivations.com. Would love to help you move forward in your healing today. Well, let's dive into the last trait of the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. Number 9, per the DSM-5, shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. Not super long, okay? But when we're talking about this, we're talking about a narcissist that shows a lot of attitudes and behaviors that are extremely self-centered. And self-centered in the aspect of like, I believe I'm better than you. Did you ever have that? Where the person in your life you always made you feel less than, would belittle you, would put you down. This is where we're stepping into the world of the arrogance, of looking, hey, I'm at the place where it's not just confidence anymore, but it's crossed the line of now it's actually arrogance. Now it's actually looking you and looking down on you over and over. This goes beyond this place of a healthy self-confidence or a healthy self-worth. It's more about let me be the best person that I can think I can be and still put you down. It's this aspect of having this inflated self-worth, that my worth feels better than you. Now, the hard part is the narcissist feels this way and views this way and then pictures you as having less worth. And so you probably in a relationship and you felt like you are worth less. Well, the majority of time, a narcissist makes you feel that way, not because you actually are worthless, but because they were unwilling to actually appreciate or acknowledge you as a human being. So he typically put you down, belittled you, made you feel worthless, oftentimes to make himself feel better about how he's actually showing up, about who he actually was. But these behaviors that happen inside the relationship oftentimes make you feel like nothing. Typically what this does, it starts to eradicate your sense of self, starts to make you feel like there is nothing inside of you or outside of you that would make you good enough for him. And so you're constantly trying to get his attention, trying to get his approval, trying to get back with him, whatever it might be. But these attitudes that a narcissist has of being so arrogant are what alienate them from other people. Now, the narcissists think, well, that's just other people running away from me because I'm so amazing. Like they have to switch it around. So like for me, there was always this aspect of viewing myself as perfect and then viewing myself very arrogantly. Now, I didn't view myself as being arrogant. I didn't think I was prideful or someone like that, but I was. And I would view that in all aspects of life. Like, I'm so amazing. Like, I was amazing at my job. I did a great job. And so as a result, it continued to boost my ego, continued to boost my confidence level and like, oh, I'm so amazing. And so that confidence level continued to go farther than just being self-confident, but turned into arrogance of like, yeah, this is what I do. This is how amazing I am. All these kind of things. And you have to understand a narcissist will take this to an extreme of looking the best, thinking they're the best, all these things to make you feel bad. Typically, you'll have this piece of this haughtiness, this idea of like looking down on. You've probably seen this in a relationship where he's looked down on you. He's made you feel insignificant. Your needs, your feelings, all of those things didn't feel like you even mattered, that you even counted. Because oftentimes it's like, I'm the one that matters, you don't matter. It's kind of like a snub nose, like over the nose, like looking down, making you feel less than. And sometimes this would be like, I'm the king of the universe. Like I'm the god of the universe and everyone is there is meant to serve and appreciate me. And so it's like this entitlement piece of like, well, you should serve me. Like you should make me feel better. Like you should. All of this goes back to some of the arrogant pieces. All right, so picture this, like you're in a relationship And you're in a relationship with a narcissistic man, and he constantly is coming in and he's belittling you. Like maybe you're with a covert narcissist and it's like passive aggressive. It's like these small little things that keep putting you down, making your opinions, making your decisions, and feeling like, hey, only his ideas are valid. Okay. Give you an example of like just a recent one that I struggled with. Okay. My wife was taking some chips and she cut the top of the chip bag off, and then she was going to wrap it up and put it in the closet. And I went and I put it inside of like a container and sealed it up. And she was like, well, I don't want it in that because it's not going to keep it fresh. And I'm like, my first thought is like, well, the bag that you're going to roll up is going to keep it more fresh than a sealed container. And so it's automatically like, I know better, I'm smarter, all these things that want to come out of my mind and come out of my mouth and like hurt the relationship. And as a result, like it pulls us apart versus pulling us together. And so that's like the tendency of what's going to happen. So like you're in this relationship and he's belittling you, he's putting you down, and he's making you doubt your decisions, making you think that only his ideas are valid. So like I would make people in the workplace, they would only view my viewpoints as being valid. And sometimes I had to pad it. Sometimes I had to go around to other people and be like, hey, this is my idea. This is why the other person's idea is a bad idea. And then they get to start talking about it. And then everybody's like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Ben's idea is the best idea. And all of a sudden we're at a place where, see, I'm so amazing. That's the idea. Manipulation to be able to get to the place of looking the best. Now, he's at a place where he's belittled you. He's put you down. You're at like, your ideas are stupid. His ideas are the best. And it's his arrogance that makes it impossible for him to actually acknowledge you, to actually understand what's going on, to acknowledge your intelligence, your capabilities, your strength. And it creates this environment of emotional abuse over and over and over again because it's not willing to actually see what's going on. Now, I wasn't willing to actually see that my wife was a really strong, amazing, wonderful woman. Instead, I wanted to find all the flaws and be like, I'm better than you. Let me go find someone else that's better than you that I can actually connect with, that actually gets me. And so you need to understand a narcissist oftentimes will do these things to look and be like, hey, you're less than, let me find someone else. And this comes from the stamp of like arrogance, of like, I'm better than you. I have better thoughts, I have better attitudes, I have better behaviors. All of it comes back to this like superiority, almost like superiority complex that we've talked about in some of the other ones. Narcissists feeling superior. When in reality, it's like, I just have this chip on my shoulder that I'm better than you. You've seen it. You've seen it in the toxic relationship. You've seen it in the workplace environment where this person always thinks that he's better than everyone else and walks around with this arrogance that really doesn't help anything. You see, a lot of times narcissists want to view themselves as being the best, and so they have this arrogance. And they might even be like, oh, I'm the best, and this is why, like, you should love me. When in reality, like, the one thing that they want, actual love and genuine connection, is the one thing that they're destroying by how they're showing up with being arrogant, with the haughty behaviors, with the haughty attitudes that are actually destroying the relationships. It's crucial for you to understand the 9 diagnostic traits. If you don't, you might be with a narcissist and you not even notice it. You not even realize it. Or you have a skewed sense of what you're actually dealing with. There's more people that are narcissistic than what society wants to tell you. And especially other narcissists will typically make sure you know, oh, it's only a small percentage. Even if you go with some of the smallest percentages, the amount of impact that it has on a worldwide aspect is massive. It's huge. But people don't want to view it as being a problem until it is a problem and until they've actually had to deal with it. The hard part is when you're dealing with it and no one actually knows or understands. You've been isolated because you told everybody it was amazing, and then it got to a place that it wasn't amazing, and then now you don't know how to actually work through it. And so you're left trying to figure out, how do I actually deal with this? If you're stuck in a toxic narcissistic relationship and you don't have support, please reach out for help. Like if you're a woman that's struggling with this today and you're suffering from narcissistic abuse and you're like, I don't know who I am. I don't know how to make the decisions in my business anymore. I don't know how to lead the team that I lead because of how he's made me feel. Please reach out for help. Go to rawmotivations.com. If you're a man today and you're struggling with how you've shown up in a toxic and an abusive way, I want you to reach out as well. And go to rawmotivations.com and set up an appointment and let's talk. I work with several men that struggle with how they've shown up narcissistically, how they showed up as a liar, how they showed up as a coward, how they haven't shown up as a man in the relationship. If you want to start working on that, please reach out today. Thank you all so much for sticking around for NPD Defined, going through the 9 diagnostic traits of narcissistic personality disorder. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know. If you enjoyed this series, please let us know. We'll dive into doing some more of these. We brought this up. This is something a couple of people suggested. We were like, hey, let's give it a go. If you like it, hit subscribe, rate, review, but just leave some love on some of these videos so that we understand how they're connecting, if they're connecting, and what we can do to be able to help you understand and learn more to be able to break free. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful week. Thank you all for watching this week. NPD Defined, the 9 diagnostic traits of narcissistic personality disorder. If you need any help, go to rawmotivations.com. I'd love to help you today.